All right. Well, while Hangouts are still here, we are going to be live on Hangouts with Hump Day Hangouts episode 242.
We could do it on Pornhub.
Yeah, we're just gonna switch to tin cans and strings and have like a party.
There you go.
With that, thanks for being here. We're going to jump right into it and just say, first of all, thanks for watching Hump Day Hangouts. Whether you're catching this as a replay, whether you're joining us live, if you are live, go ahead. If you got any questions, pop them on the page. Say hello. Hell, post your favorite GIF. Do whatever you want to do. Let me take that back. Don't do whatever you want to do. Keep it at least like PG-13 maybe. So
at least keep it relevant.
Yeah. Well, real quick, let's go down the line and say hello to everybody. We got everybody here today. I think Chris is hanging out so he doesn't die of heat exhaustion. But so we'll start with him before he passes out. How you doing, Chris?
Yeah, doing good. Had to move forward to the cellar because, like, I don't know, the heat wave is like quite unbearable for me. I still don't know why people love summer that much. Kind of more of a winter person. But yeah, rests. Life is good otherwise.
Cool. Hernan, how about yourself? You're kind of the opposite, right?
Yeah, dude, I'm freezing my ass. But on the good note, I think that if Hump Day Hangout goes away, we can do like YouPorn type of streaming, and embed that on the page. That would be pretty cool. Yeah. So anyways, I'm great, dude. I'm awesome. I'm just really looking forward for Wonderfull Live 2019. That's coming. It's coming in hot. We had a really cool event last year, and we are gonna make it cooler this year. So it's gonna be pretty cool. So
yeah, definitely. We're gonna talk some more about that. But if you're not sure what it is, one, stay tuned, and then secondly, go over to pofulive.com, which will actually work now. I got the domain resolved, so you can actually type in Pofu Live and get there. So go check that out. Marco, how about yourself? How you doing, man?
What's up, man? Just to get the question out of the way, are Hump Day Hangouts going away?
No.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Before we get it asked 1,000 times, I want to be the first person to ask it. Are we done with Hump Day Hangouts?
Not on my watch.
Just making sure. Right?
I took off last week because I had a meeting that I couldn't get out of, and I felt like something was missing the entire damn week because this is episode 242, and this is only the second episode I've missed out of 242. And so it's, Wednesdays aren't the same without Hump Day Hangouts. So no, we're not taking them away. We're just saying that Hangouts on air is going away. So we're going to have to figure out a new way to stream and answer questions, which is fine. We'll adapt. We always do.
Yeah. So anyway, life's good. Costa Rica's good. Weather's good. Had a nice little earthquake last night. 6.2, 6.3. Something woke me up at around 1, 2 in the morning, shaking and baking, but otherwise, things are good.
That's good. I'm glad you guys are all right. That's getting up there. That's not a tiny one.
No, I was off on the coast. No worries.
Good deal. Well, Bradley, you're still with us too. I guess weather and everything treating you all right?
Everything's good, man. Life is good. Can't complain. A lot of good things going on right now. We're doing some pretty cool stuff in the mastermind, which, by the way, guys, we have a mastermind webinar tomorrow. We'll be covering some stuff in there. I'm also starting a small group training inside the mastermind for some select members that it's going to be really cool. They're going to be kind of learning the new business model that I'm into because it's so lucrative. So that's a lot of fun. Just got a lot of exciting stuff going on right now. Oh, do want to talk about something else, though. GMB is certainly on Google's on a rampage right now, suspending shit that's even 100% legit for no reason. I actually had my first client site, or GMB, suspended just 2 days ago for doing nothing other than uploading a photo. And it was dumb. It's stupid. And I've got it in the reinstatement request going on. And they sent a message back that said originally that they'll, reply within 24 hours. Then within 24 hours, I got a follow-up reply that said, we have a huge backlog of reconsideration or reinstatement requests that we're trying to work through. And it will be, we're backlogged up to 2 to 3 weeks. So my client's pissed, but he understands I didn't do anything. It's spammy. It's just Google My Business is broken right now, guys. So, we have to switch strategies up. I would recommend staying out of them as much as possible. Try not to edit them at all, if possible, until they get their shit together. It's a bloodbath out there right now. So just keep that in mind. So I did want to give that update. We got to shift our strategy to adapt with whatever comes. And this is not a very good time for Google My Business stuff for sure.
Cool. Yeah, if there's more questions about that too, if anyone watching has some questions, go ahead and pop that in there. I mean, obviously, it's a big topic we've been covering. It's a great way to conduct lead gen like we've been talking about. And if it just because this is happening doesn't mean this is the way it's always going to be. Things change, just like it became, a great tool to use, and it may swing back that way. So real quick too, just wanted to say if you're new to Semantic Mastery, thanks for joining us for Hump Day Hangouts. Again, whether you're live or watching the replay. If you're here, you're in the right place. You can always go to semanticmastery.com/HD questions and ask your questions ahead of time in case you can't watch it live. So each week you can pop those on there. We'll answer them or point you in the right direction if we can't get you a specific answer. Other than that, though, the next thing people ask us is, hey, where should I start with Semantic Mastery? Besides coming to Hump Day Hangouts, what should I do? Go get the battle plan. Go to battleplan.semanticmastery.com. And if you're ready to move on from that, take things up a few notches, come join our mastermind. All right. If you're looking to form a strong network, if you're looking to either start or grow your own digital marketing agency, or if you're a business owner that wants to grow it as well, that also comprises a number of our members. Come check out the mastermind. It's at mastermind.semanticmastery.com. You can find out more about that. And then if you're looking for done-for-you services like syndication networks, RYS drive stacks, links, embeds, all that good stuff, go to MGYB.co for your premium done-for-you SEO services. And last but not least, hook us up. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you guys are over there, you're watching clips or whatever, just click the subscribe button, stay up to date. Helps us and helps you stay on top of important questions, whether it's SEO, it's other digital marketing questions, funnels, Facebook ads, whatever it is that's going on. We put out a ton of content and we love that people watch it. So help us out and subscribe over there. So real quick, we mentioned POFU Live. I want to touch base on this real quick for everyone. We just tomorrow, or if you're a subscriber, you're going to see an email about that. And I just wanted to talk real quick because we just got that up and running. We're just starting ticket sales. Mastermind members got first crack at getting their tickets. And we've got 2 out of the 3 speakers that we can announce. They're on the page, so it's no secret if you go there. But I wanted to touch base on this. Jeffrey Smith is going to be joining us again. All right.
Yes.
He was, yeah. Actually, let's just
Woo! Let's go.
Yeah. So he's going to be joining us again. Really pumped to have Jeffrey back. He joined us last year for the first POFU Live, gave a killer talk. It was a blast. He was there all weekend, hanging out, talking to people, dropping some bombs and some great gold nuggets there, some information. And he's going to be coming back and doing it again. So really looking forward to that. And then Adam Bensman is not only invited because he's got a great first name, but also he's the founder of Brain Hickey. This guy is a killer copywriter. He's got a lot of real world experience dealing with clients, both at scale and with high-end clients. Tons of information, tons of knowledge he's going to share. So looking forward to having him. He's a Colorado local, so he's going to come down and help us in Denver and be pitching in and dropping some knowledge there too. And then we are going to have potentially a third and maybe even a 4th guest speaker who we will be announcing in the coming days. But the reason I bring this up to you is if you want to go to POFU Live in Denver on October 11th, 12th, and 13th of this year, you're going to want to get your tickets in the next week or two. Shortly after the 4th of July week, the prices are going to be going up. We want to offer you an early bird discount. It's our way of saying thank you. If you get the tickets now, it helps us plan accordingly, and we can do this a lot easier. So again, our way of saying thank you is we offer you a lower price for that. But as soon as that's over, prices are going to go up. There's no, special offers coming. There's no, last minute sale, anything like that.
Yeah. By the way, just quickly to clarify, our events are not a pitch fest, guys. It's not like you're going to come to our event and we're going to pitch you additional training and products, and the speakers are going to be pitching training and products. It's not how it works. It's a training event. If you want to reach out to any of them afterwards and, pursue what they have available, that's perfectly fine. It's up to you, but it's not about that. It's about training. It's going to be a really good event. We talk about holistic business building, right? So it's not just about SEO or this or that. It's about the overall building a business, scaling a business, sustaining a business, all of that. So again, we would highly recommend, if anybody's interested, get your tickets now, because it's going to go up after the 4th of July-ish area time frame. So now would be a good time to get them at their lowest price.
Definitely. And I mean, I will just say too, it's a good time. You know, you can go, these are real people on the pages, the real attendees from last year. You know, we can tell you about it. And if you have questions, feel free to contact us at support@semanticmastery.com. We'll answer them. Or you can ask them here on Hump Day Hangouts. But you can go and see what other people had to say about the event. You know, a lot of really good points. People got a lot out of it, and a lot out of each other, the networking that happened there, just like being in the mastermind. A lot of the power comes from the people you meet there, the connections you meet, the ideas that are generated in that kind of smaller group setting. So really looking forward to doing that again. And I'm narrowing down the list for the VIP day. That's last time was a blast. We did a chartered brewery tour in Washington, D.C. And this year we're going to be in Denver. So I'm looking at something else. I've got it narrowed down to a couple, but I think it's going to be just as fun. It's a good way to get to meet everybody, relax, to have fun, get introduced, get up speed, and then hit the ground running the next day for the main event.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Are we going to, let's talk briefly about the Press Advantage webinar, if we can.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. You want to fill people in case they missed that, Bradley?
Okay. If you guys didn't see it, on Monday, we had Jeremy, the developer, or one of the co-developer of Press Advantage on, and you guys know we've been pitching or using Press Advantage. I have been for many years, actually. But we did a promotion for Press Advantage when he kind of relaunched it as 2.0 at the end of September last year. And so we're talking, 8 months ago. And he was gracious enough to come on Monday to open up a very, very good offer again for people that want to subscribe, have their own subscription to Press Advantage, which there was 2 different levels. There's one level, which is 3 done for you written for you press releases on a monthly basis for $350, which gives you the ability to have an organization page, which if you followed any of our trainings, that is an integral part of what we do. We use that organization page as a very powerful tier 1 property, branded property. Very, very powerful. And a lot of the things that you can do with it are powerful as well. Then there's the other offer, which was amazing, that he swore up and down he wouldn't open up again the previous time that he, in September when we did the webinar, but I did twist his arm and he opened it up again. And that was for $497 a month. You get 6 written for you press releases and unlimited write it yourself press releases or submit yourself. But here's the catch. There's no catch, but you can buy additional press release writing services from Press Advantage for $50. So essentially you get 6 for $497 a month, and then you can buy each additional one for $50, or you can go out and get your own writer and all that. But I'm telling you, the best and most efficient way to run it is to just use their writers. And anyways, we did a webinar with him. It ended up going 2 hours again. There's a lot of new and additional features that have been implemented since September when we did it the first time. And so we cover all here. He covers all of that. And I comment along in the webinar if you want to watch it. Otherwise, just skip to the end or, go to the sales page or the checkout page, I should say, and subscribe. If you're doing anything for your own business, press releases are incredibly powerful. Content marketing through press releases are incredibly powerful. So even if you're your own business owner, as opposed to like an agency or a marketing consultant, using press releases frequently and often is going to be very, very powerful for your business. We've seen it time and again. So I would say even if you're a business owner, or definitely if you're a consultant or an agency, that you should look to get your own subscription. You can buy press releases from us in our store, MGYB.co. And they're one-off press releases for a very good price. And you still get the benefit of having that press release published, which drives a lot of links. It can get a lot of traffic, all that kind of stuff. But if you're going to be doing volume, which you should be doing because they are so powerful, it should be an integral part of your content marketing strategy. You should have your own subscription, period. And we stand by that statement. So it's a great service. I highly recommend you go check it out. Check out the webinar if you want to see all of what it can do for you. Otherwise, just go straight to the checkout page and subscribe. Did you drop the link, Adam? I assume you did.
Yeah, I did. The webinar replay page is on there, and I think we are good to go. Was there any other announcements, you guys?
I don't have any. I'm ready for questions.
Yeah, I have a comment. Our shit works, period.
Boom. All right, I'm taking the screen.
Let's do it.
Okay, cool. We probably have some new listeners that or watchers, viewers, audience members, whatever, because I did a podcast with Tommy Mello has a podcast which handles a whole bunch of home service type contractors, and got a really good response from that. And so anybody that's here from Tommy Mello's podcast, welcome. Come back, post questions here often about anything that has to do with your contracting businesses as far as marketing, getting better results, lead generation, that kind of stuff. We're happy to answer them. And again, definitely, engage with us, and we'll try to help you out as much as we can. So, all right. So the first question I see comes from Scott N, and I'm assuming this may be one of them. I have a hardwood floor and staircase renovation business. My main point of interest is to learn how to best utilize the Google My Business page to get the most out of the account. So that's really good. Now, there's a few things that I would recommend. Number one, if you heard the beginning of this webinar or today's Hump Day Hangout, right now is not really a good time to be doing a whole lot of editing of your Google My Business page, right? So if you've got it already up and it's running, that's great. I would recommend that you really stick to just doing Google My Business posts or GMB posts right now, and not do a lot of editing of the page itself or the profile, because things are being suspended right now. Google's on a rampage to eliminate spammed listings, in part because of some high profile people running their mouths to high profile publications and getting a lot of unnecessary attention to them. And so anyways, my point is, even if you're a legit business owner with a legitimate business with a physical location that you can verify, I recommend that you stay the hell out of it as far as making edits to the actual profile, at least until Google fixes its itchy trigger finger, so to speak. Because right now, for no rhyme or reason that I know of, you go in and you make an edit of any kind, and boom, it can be suspended. And it's a crapshoot every time, right? You roll the dice every time, because you never know what's going to suspend the listing or not. And as I mentioned before, their backlog for reinstatement requests are 2 to 3 weeks currently at the moment. And so if it gets suspended, you're going to be shit out, dead in the water, DITW, until you can get it reinstated, if they're going to be gracious enough to reinstate it. So that's just the caveat. I want to, disclaim everything here with that. Number one. Number two, really one of the best things that you can do is the Google My Business posting, right? Do that frequently and often. Look for the keywords that you want, or the search queries that you want to get more traffic from. Also look at the GMB insights, and you'll see what kind of search queries are actually bringing your maps listing exposure, and start using those search queries that are relevant more often in posts. Okay, that's really important. And then something else, we talk about our store, MGYB.co. And just for anybody that doesn't know what MGYB stands for, that's Make Google Your Bitch. So MGYB.co is our store. If you go there, we've got some products that will help you to actually really boost your Google My Business profile as far as, getting better results from it. Number one would be a syndication network. Number two would be a drive stack. And we can offer assistance as to how to get the best use out of those for people that don't know. Those of you that are not in the SEO industry, some of that may seem foreign to you, but really it's not difficult. The concept is quite easy. I'm actually going to walk through a brief example of how you can gather the type of links that you would want to promote. So your profiles within a drive stack. Drive stacks are incredibly powerful, especially for Google My Business stuff or maps ranking. So I'm gonna walk through that here in just a moment. But first, I just want to say, for your Google My Business page, really, again, I would stay out of trying to edit it right now, but I would take advantage of the Google My Business posting feature. Post often, post regularly, use the search queries or the keywords that you want to get traffic from. So for example, in this case, like it might be floor restoration, or floor renovation, or flooring contractors, or you'll notice a lot of near me keywords. Near me type search queries are driving a lot of traffic to maps. So flooring contractors near me, flooring restoration near me, variations of near me, like nearby, in my area, close to me, that kind of stuff. So mix and match the keywords, the types of service keywords that you want to rank for, along with near me and variations of near me. Also, if you cover a wide service area, you want to start including some of the locations that within your service area. So location names, do it via city names, even neighborhoods, things like boroughs, districts, things like that. If you have different names that you can start to include, that's why I said there's really no way that you can do too many posts, in my opinion. That's really important. And that, as far as I know, is not getting GMBs suspended. I haven't had that happen from a post yet, but I have from editing the profile at all. If that makes sense. Okay. Marco, do you want to comment on that while I pull up some examples?
No, I agree totally. I mean, we have the training, local GMB Pro, which would be the next step in the process, except in local GMB Pro, we do tell you to go and make edits and all of these other things, which you shouldn't be doing. When you submit it, especially if you have a real business, right? A real, whether it's service area, brick and mortar, whatever it is that you have, fill it out as thoroughly as you can right at the beginning before you send for that PIN, so that you don't have to go back and mess with it. Because it's when you start going back and messing with it that you get into problems. So that the only change that I would recommend right now is if you're doing something that's legitimate, do it right the first time. Use the guidelines that we set up in local GMB Pro, but do it right the first time. Send for that PIN, make sure all of the information is correct, and then it'll come back to you. It's your business, and if something happens, you can always go back and get that business reinstated, right? That GMB. Whereas others, the problem that they're having, and why it is a problem to begin with, is we were just spamming it and getting a ton of businesses that didn't really exist. But if yours does, then you right now, the second problem, as Bradley mentioned, is that you're in a queue, and until they can get to you because of spammers like Bradley, then you're waiting 3-4 months and weeks. And right now, whatever it is that the summer business is, right? Well, the summer businesses like pest control, tree service, anything having to do with outdoors, those are in the queue, and this is like the top of the season. So they're losing a whole lot of money, and they shouldn't be, because they have legitimate businesses. And so that's the only thing that I would add.
Yeah, that's my client, is an outdoor pest control company, and he's, this is the peak of their season, and it's just really shitty. And again, we didn't do anything spammy or wrong. It just suspended. It was dumb. Anyways, I'm going to use home remodeling as opposed to floor restoration, only because I know this industry a bit better. So I'm going to use this just as a quick example for those of you that we get questions all the time about how to order a drive stack with an MGYB. And I'm going to cover that just briefly, guys, because I'm telling you, it's one of the very most powerful things that you can possibly do. And you can get it 100% done for you on our store. And I say that because it's absolute truth. I started a new business about 2 months ago, a brand new business, and all I have done is 3 press releases and a drive stack. That's it. I haven't even done anything else to it at all. It's a 1-page website with a drive stack and 3 press releases, and I'm on the number 3 position for the state of Virginia for my very top keyword. So, and it's been 2 months. So I'm telling you, it's incredibly powerful. You're going to see results if you use it. So what I want to just walk through very quickly is just give an example here. So for home remodeling Fairfax, I use Fairfax because I'm in a rural area called Culpeper. There's not a lot of activity around me, but Fairfax is a very busy area in Northern Virginia. So let's just say that your business was Daniel's Design and Remodeling, general contractor. Well, what I would do is to figure out which URLs, which links you want to include or submit when you order a drive stack. If you've been following us, you know that we recommend getting a syndication network first, and then ordering a drive stack and including your syndication network URLs, profile URLs in the the links that you submit when you purchase the drive stack. So that's number 1. But if you're just coming to us and you don't know what a syndication network is, well, we'll cover that at a different time. We're covering drive stacks right now. But what I would do is just go to Google and use another search for Google. In this case, I was just looking for a brand that I could use as an example. So I'm going to take Daniel's Design and Remodeling as my example. Okay. So all I'm going to do is copy. So let's say whatever your company name is, just go to Google, paste it in, and also paste in your phone number too. So not just your name, but also paste in your phone number. All right. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to say that this is your business. We're going to do a quick Google search on your brand name and your phone number. And then what we're going to do, and apparently they got some shitty Yelp reviews, but that's probably because Yelp filters out all the good ones, right? Unless you're a paying advertiser. So what I would do is come in here and I would just open up these links, all the links associated with your first 2 pages that are, you know, obviously that are relevant links to your business, I would just go through and open up every single one of those links. There are also plugins that you can use, guys, that are called like link grabbers that will actually scrape all the links off a Google search page and put them into a text file or a notepad file. But you can do this manually. Just go through and right click, open link, a new tab, and then just go collect all of those links, put them into a notepad file, because that's how you submit them inside our dashboard anyways. Once you place your order, and go through the checkout process, then you go submit your order details. And what you can do is submit a text file with all the URLs that you want included in the drive stack. So that's all you do. I'm not going to go through this, guys. You understand the point. Just go through the top 2 pages, select all of your URLs that you want included in the drive stack, and put them into a text file, save it, and then upload that text file as your target URL or for the order, right? Then the same thing goes for keywords. For keywords, you're going to want to take your top level keywords that, you know, including your brand name, and use those as the keywords. Create a nice little text file with your keywords in there. So your top level service products and or services, some of the location names that you want to include, also your brand name, make sure that that's included in your keyword list, and upload that. And then our team will go out and build you a very, very, very powerful drive stack, which are Google Drive properties that are going to be branded and themed and have your profile URL, or excuse me, your profile logo, your logo as the profile image, your header images. It's just going to be a very, very powerful thing. And now that becomes your insulator, your SEO firewall. All of the other stuff that you can do in SEO that we would never recommend you do directly to your money site, you can now do to the drive stack, and the drive stack pushes all of that relevance back to your money site, will help in your maps listing, and will help you to rank. Does that make sense? So that's a quick down and dirty way to figure out how to get the URLs that you're going to submit, is just go to Google. Use Google to tell you, and just go through the top 2 pages. That's all you need. What are the most powerful or authoritative branded profiles or citations in this case that Google thinks for that particular brand, your brand, right? So put your brand name in, your business, your phone number in, click search, just collect all the URLs from the top 2 pages, put them into a text file, save them, then work on your keyword list. Again, you can find out the keywords that are bringing you traffic through your GMB insights, and just select the relevant keywords. And then also, if you have some search queries that you desire more traffic from, add those in as well. Marco, you want to comment on that before I move on?
Yeah, the only thing that I would add to this is that they do get a spreadsheet when they order their syndication network. Those should also be included.
That's correct. And I said step 1 should be a syndication network, but for those people that are coming to us from the podcast, I just wanted to talk about the drive stacks first. Syndication networks, maybe we'll cover that at the beginning of next webinar. But that's correct. All right, so anyways, welcome, Scott. Scott Walker says, I guess he's asking where he's at. Okay, cool. And thanks, Scott's giving us a shout out. Gordon says, hey guys, thanks again for your Hump Day help. As usual, is greatly appreciated. Thank you, Gordon. He says, this may be a dumb question, but I'll ask anyway. When using a press release for boosting the rank of a GMB listing, is the URL that you use as a backlink in the PR the same as the one that you get by going to the GMB dashboard and clicking the info tab and going to view on search or view on maps, or is this something else? Yes, that's the link that we suggest. I've shown a kind of a funky way to get that URL in the past. If you go into your info tab and you right click on the view on maps and copy link address, so right click, copy link address, and paste it into a notepad file, it's going to be an HTTPS www.google.com/maps $CID =, and then that's going to be a string of numbers, and that's the maps URL. But that's actually a 302 redirect to the correct URL for maps, which is instead of, it's going to be, this is what it's going to look like. I'm just going to give you an example real quick. So it's going to be maps.google.com/maps $CID =, and then it's going to be a string of numbers, right? It's going to be several numbers, something like that. All right. That's what Google is going to give you when you right click view on the view on maps and copy link address. All you want to do though, because if you put that in a redirect checker, you're going to see that it actually redirects with a 302 to this. That's it. It doesn't change anything except that. It changes that map subdomain to www. And now that's the URL that you want to use right there. right? And what happens is when you actually take that URL and check it in a redirect checker, it's going to say test OK. It'll be a 200, an HTML a header code 200, which says test OK. But if you actually go to view that URL in your address bar, like paste and go, it will, once the page loads, it actually switches to that really long, stupid, ugly URL that Maps gives you when you're viewing your map in the browser. Does that make sense? So again, it's a straight URL. And that's the best URL to use. So you can get it that way, by the way, by going in and getting it from your GMB dashboard, right click, go to the info tab, right click, view on maps, and then copy link address. The other way, which one of our mastermind members shared this with us, is to go to standby. I'm looking for it now. I think it's, where the hell is it? Shit, guys, give me a minute. Damn, somebody gave me a tool the other day. Maybe that's it. Is that it? Let's see if this is it. Yes, that's it. Use this one right here, guys. So this is gmb.reviewsmaker.com. I'm going to paste this on the page for you guys real quick, and then I'll show you how this works. Okay, so if you go to this will make it so much easier. All you got to do is start searching. So if I say like, oh, excuse me, guys, I got a, should have muted notifications.
Oh, no, it's fine. Hey, Bradley, just take the call. We'll listen in.
Yeah. Stand by. I got to hang up on that. All right, sorry about that. All right, let me grab the screen again. This is the actual pretty cool tool that somebody posted from our group. If I just start typing in Semantic Mastery, and it's not going to show me now, it's okay. You can type in, you can paste in the URL as well. So let's go to Semantic Mastery. And why is it not showing our knowledge base? Well, isn't that some shit? Let's do it over here. Let's just use this guy. So let's go to his map. We're going to grab the share URL here. Paste that in. And let's see, why is it not? Okay, so for some reason, we can't find your business and drop down, hit the code place ID. Okay, there we go. Hit the code place ID and then enter in your map URL, wherever that goes, or right there, and click the code place ID. And what it does is it brings that URL back right here, the same one. Does that make sense? So this is the same one. But like I said, if you grab that URL right there and you go to a redirect checker, so let's go to like redirectdetective.com, for example, and you'll see that that's what I was talking about. This actually does a redirect through a 302 to the same version of the URL, but it's just www.google.com as opposed to maps.google.com. Does that make sense? So if all you got to do is take this URL here and swap this out with the www, and it ends up being the URL that you want to use, right? So again, or here we go. You can always copy it from the redirect checker, and that's what it looks like. Does that make sense? And now if we take this URL and we put it in the browser bar, click paste and go, you'll see that once the page loads, it's going to automatically switch to this long, ugly thing. Does that make sense? So again, which is a cleaner URL to use? This one certainly is much cleaner than this one. So this is the URL that I use to build links to. Okay? That was a good question, though. Moving on. Okay, Gordon says, when you post a backlink on an embedded page, on an embed page of a video you've uploaded to the GMB listing, when you post a backlink on an embed page of a video you've uploaded to the GMB listing, is the same URL used for PR or a different URL? Thanks. I don't understand that question, Gordon. Sorry. Can anybody decipher that question for me?
If he's talking about the video for PRs, it's I don't know if you could use a GMB URL for the video. I think they're using they said Vimeo and YouTube on their page right now.
You're talking about embedding on press release. Is that what you mean?
Yeah. I think that's what this means. I don't know. You'll have to clear it up.
Yeah.
I'm just taking it as that what it means. If he's talking about the video that you can embed, the URL that they're mentioning is any YouTube video URL or a Vimeo URL. That's what they'll embed.
Yeah, I'm not sure I understand the question. I'm not sure if that was it or not, but thanks, Marco, for attempting. So yeah, if you can clarify, Gordon, that's great. If not, that's fine. So Mohammed's up. He said, "What's up, Mohammed?" By the way, he says, "Hey guys, what do we do with a client that has a Wix site? Run away." No, I'm kidding. I'm pretty close to signing a national insurance leads provider, but I've just noticed his site was Wix. What's the best course of action here? Can I still follow the Battleplan and SM methods in general on Wix? Would it have the same effect? Yeah, I mean, it can, yes. You know, there's not much you can do about that if that's what they're on. I believe Wix has an RSS feed, so you can still use that for blogging and everything else. I personally not crazy about Wix, but as far as I know, you can still do everything pretty much that we recommend with WordPress via Wix. It's just a different type of, you know, user interface and all that kind of stuff. I don't know that Wix has any benefit or is any worse as far as SEO stuff that you can do with it, like the coding of it. Maybe Marco or somebody else can comment on that. But as far as I know, Wix can still be used for all the stuff that we do because it's similar to WordPress.
Yeah, I've never even. I think I built one, but I never followed through with it because it's just learning a new platform. Just isn't. I don't know. There's nothing in it for me in learning a whole new platform. So I stick with WordPress, and I'm trying to even get away from that. And what we recommend is if it doesn't have the same functionality as WordPress, then install a WordPress on a subdomain.
Yeah.
And blog from there. That's been our constant recommendation since forever. When people come up with HTML or whatever else, whatever other CMS that you're using outside of WordPress,
or if it's e-commerce or something.
Yeah, just whatever it is, just do a WordPress install on a subdomain.
Yeah, I totally agree with Marco. It could be like a blog dot or a news dot or something like that subdomain that you could use as the content distribution engine, essentially. You know, like I said, my new business that I was just talking about earlier, I've got a single page. It's just a ClickFunnels landing page, and that's on the root of the domain. So it's a one-page site. So I had installed a WordPress on blog.domain.com essentially, and I'm using that as the blog. But I've only done, I don't know, 2 or 3 posts. So anyways, but yeah, you can do that. That's what I would recommend. But he says, following on from the previous question, is consistent content creation necessary still? I know, of course, it helps a ton, but assuming I still have a syndication network made, do I lose a lot by not doing it? Well, I mean, we certainly recommend that you do do content marketing. As like I said, is if Wix has a RSS feed, which I'm pretty sure it does, you should be able to do it directly from Wix. But if you don't like the interface, then just use the blog, right? A blog.subdomain with WordPress installed. And then you can still do the same thing. I do recommend content marketing. I mean, again, guys, it's Google loves that. They love the freshness, the updates, the activity. You can automate, obviously, you know this, Mohammed, syndicating your network. You can automate syndicating to GMB. There's a lot of things that you can do. So I do recommend that you get on somewhat of a consistent and regular content marketing schedule, although that you don't, depending on the industry, you know, you don't have to do it 3 times a week. You could do it once a week or once every 2 weeks. It really just depends on the industry. But I do recommend that you are updating the blog regularly with content. The frequency is going to really depend on your competition that you're dealing with, as well as what industry you're in. Okay. Wayne Clayton, you prick. We can keep moving. Scott says, I am in the process of placing an embed order with MGYB. Question, do you recommend adding keywords into the iframe? Marco? I'm going to let you answer that one, buddy.
I mean, you can. I haven't seen it from everything that we've done add that much to whatever iframe you're embedding, whether it's map or video. I mean, it could. I've seen it. Google will read anything before the closing iframe tag. And so if you're adding information in there, whether it's schema, keywords, or whatever, Google will read it. The thing is, like, only SEOs do that. And it's a really good way to get picked out. I mean, at some point, if they ever come after iframes, that would be the first thing that I would pick out, anyone adding any information before that closing iframe tag, because it's mostly just SEOs that add information in there. Does it work? I mean, Scott, nothing beats a try but a fail. So we do allow you to submit keywords, and Dedia will add it before the closing iframe tag. So try it. That's all I can tell you. Do I do it? No, I've hardly ever done it. We've tested with it, and since we get similar results without, we just don't add extra information.
Yeah. Correct. All right. So the next several comments are Adam just spamming the comment box, and
How I roll.
so Jordan's got a nice meme about the bloodbath. It's pretty cool. Ken Mandich, what's up, Ken? He says, I have a new GMB. It's a real business, and I've uploaded pics, logo, description, etc. I haven't built the GMB site. What are your thoughts about completing the site? Do you think that might kick off a suspension? Yeah, it may. I mean, the thing is I haven't had any issues with real client businesses, like real bona fide businesses, GMBs, until this week, and it was Monday. And that was one of the, all I did was I deleted one photo because it was showing up as like the primary image in mobile, and the client said that he wanted a different photo. So, and I don't know how to force Google to select a different photo. So I said, okay, well, I'll just delete that one. And then I uploaded some new photos because he had some new photos recently of some of his technicians and such. And then I published the GMB website because for whatever reason I never had published that website for his GMB. And so I went in and published the website, but I didn't even add any content. It was just the straight publishing before adding any content to it or anything. All I did was publish the website. And I don't know if you know this, Ken, but when you publish a GMB website, it forces the change of the main URL for the GMB profile from the money site to the .business.site GMB website URL. It forces the change with a UTM code on it too. And it's really long and ugly. And you have to go in, and then once you publish the site, you have to go edit the info tab and change the website back to the money site URL. And that's all I did was I published the website, didn't even edit it, right? All I did was then go to the info tab, and I changed the URL from the .business.site, which is the GMB website URL, back to the money site URL, so to their branded domain, and immediately it's suspended. And that's where we've been at ever since. It's only been a couple of days, but still, it just sucks because I didn't do anything spammy, and it's a legitimate business. We can certainly confirm and verify that, but that's the case. So yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I can't tell you if it's the GMB site that does that, or it could have been a combination of doing both photos that day and the GMB site. I have no idea. I haven't had any issues with legitimate businesses until this week. And now that I've experienced it, I'm skittish, right? I'm a bit gun shy. I don't want to really poke the bear, so to speak. You know what I mean? So I recommend, and until this shit settles down, which who knows when that's going to be, I would say try to stay out of that as much as possible and only do stuff that, you can do either via API, like posting GMB posts, or you can probably post manually. I haven't heard of anybody losing it from just doing a GMB post inside the, the dashboard. But even then, I might even want to do that through a manager account or content. What do they call it? A site manager or something like that now. There's a couple different levels that you can add additional users on. One that would make more sense to be like I think it's called a site manager. They used to be called content or communications managers or something like that, but I think they're called site managers now. So, okay, next is Anumaan. I guess he says, hi, thanks for a wonderful webinar. My question is, if I use a subdomain, Google will treat it as a separate brand or just like a silo? No, it depends on how you set it up. But if you're setting it up as a branded subdomain, for example, like using what we talked about earlier, setting up a blog on a subdomain, you're going to want to brand it the same. But you can also, like, for example, I've got a lot of multi-location clients or stuff that I do where each subdomain we have separate subdomains for different locations. So each city has its own subdomain, so to speak, right? And that they're all the same brand, but they each have their own WordPress installation or subdomain that is city specific. So, but you can set up subdomains to treat them as completely different entities if you want. So it really just depends on how you theme it and how you interlink between the subdomain and the root domain or other subdomains or all of them. Does that make sense? So the good thing is that Google does treat subdomains as separate web entities, like in other words, separate websites. You can create the relationship, the association between the subdomain and the root, if you want, or the association with the brand, but the web asset itself, the domain itself, the subdomain is treated as a separate website, if that makes sense. So that way that's why we do what we've been talking about, using subdomains for like multi-location stuff for a long time, because it's a bit safer. If you put separate landing pages as internal pages of a website for multiple location stuff, and any one of your location pages catches a penalty for some reason, then it can pull down the entire domain, right? It can affect all of the other locations because it affects the root as well. However, if you do stuff on subdomains and you, like, for example, have separate subdomains for each location, if any one location gets hit by a penalty for some reason, then it will be isolated to that particular subdomain. It won't affect the root, and it won't affect what I call the other sibling subdomains. So that's why we tell you to do that. But again, it just depends on how you interlink it and what type of associations you make. All right, Jordan's up. He says, related to Anumaan's question and reciprocal links, the blog subdomain should link heavily to the money site, right? Also, is there anything we can do to schema-wise on a subdomain or rel canonical to tie it super tight to the main money site domain? Yeah, that's what I would do. Yeah, I mean, if you're using a blog on like what we talked about for Muhammad above, or like an e-commerce site or whatever. So if you're using a subdomain for a blog, yeah, you're going to be using that to do like content marketing and link building from the subdomain up to the money site typically. And you're not going to want to link back from the money site back down to the blog. It's, I mean, other than perhaps a navigation link that says blog, right? Or whatever that links down to the root, the subdomain. But from within individual pages and posts, no, you're going to use the subdomain to link up to the pages on the site that you want to rank. Okay. And then, yeah, canonicals are always very powerful. You can do that. It's up to you. That is the blog link heavily to money site, but the money site not. Yes, correct, Jordan. That's correct. Right. As far as the money site linking down, the only thing I would do is a a navigation menu link that says blog that links down to that. And you could do some sort of like sidebar widget for if you have, for silos and things like that to show like related content and things like that. You could do that on the money site, but typically that's stuff that you would isolate to the blog anyways. All right. Look, Gordon's clarifying his question. Good. Hernan, is the ad info information still available on Facebook pages? Is Hernan still here?
I'm here. Hey, can you hear me?
Yes.
The info and ads, I think. So let me see. The ad info information is still available on Facebook pages. I'm working on the 30-day funnel challenge and can find any info on certain business pages. Yes, I mean, they have switched that. So if you go to facebook.com/ads/library, so facebook.com/ads/library, you will be able to get like a public library of all of the ads that are being run right now. So on certain business pages, if they're running ads and whatnot, it's still available, but some templates are like hiding it. But all of the ads that are being run on the platform can be found on facebook.com/ads/library. If you go there, you type in the Facebook page and even the niche, you will be able to get a lot of intelligence out of that. So yeah, that's basically how I do it.
Very cool. Thank you. So Gordon's clarifying his questions. He says, if you have time, here's what I was trying to ask. If I upload a video to a GMB listing and use that same video with an MGYB embed job, is the backlink URL that is posted on each page of wherever the video is embedded the same URL used for press releases, or is it different? Hope that clarification makes more sense. Okay, remember, in a embed, it's not a backlink, right? So you're not linking to the video. You're not posting the URL to the video. It's an embed. So it's not going to be the same. And if you upload a video to a GMB listing, then you're going to get a GMB post URL, not an embed code. Now, unless Marco, you said that you can embed a GMB post though, correct?
You absolutely can.
Okay. Now, I haven't tested that, where if you were to upload a video to GMB, then as a GMB post, then grab the post URL, turn that into an embed, and then ask for an embed campaign for that. I haven't tested that. That would actually be kind of an interesting test, because then you're doing an embed blast to a GMB post video. Does that make sense? So you could do that. Now, if that's what you're talking about, Gordon, then the URL, the iframe is going to be the same on all of the video pages or the embed pages, but you're not going to be able to use that for press releases, not as an embed. You can use, because on the press releases for Press Advantage, you can embed a Google map, Google My Business map, and a Vimeo or a YouTube video. And the way that you do it in the press release is that for you, well, first of all, if it's a GMB map that you want to embed, that's now if you have your own subscription, when you go to submit the details for the press release to be written, there is a drop-down menu at the bottom that says, do you want a Google map embedded? And if you say yes, then it's going to embed the GMB map that you have associated with the organization page. If you say no, then it won't. If you want to embed a video, then the way that you do it is you put the YouTube URL or Vimeo URL on its own line with a line break above and a line break below within the content body of the press release. Okay. And then when it publishes, it will publish as an embed. But you can't do that with the GMB post URL. Like if you put the GMB post URL on its own line, it's going to publish as just a URL. And unless you hyperlink that URL, it would literally just be a text URL, not hyperlinked. So just keep that in mind. Now, if you want to embed a YouTube video, then like I said, that's all you do is put it on its own line, and then that's going to be an embed code. It'll convert to an embed code when it publishes. Does that make sense? So you can take a video that you upload to YouTube though, and upload that same file to GMB as a video post. And now you've got the video uploaded as a GMB post, and you also have it embedded or uploaded to YouTube, which now you can use that in press releases. Okay. Okay. It says I was talking about a video upload to the profile, not embedding it in a GMB post. As I use such a video and can I use such a video and again, I don't know what you're talking about. If you upload a video directly to GMB as like a photo, which you can do that too, not a post, but you can upload it as a photo. In the photo section, you can upload videos. It doesn't give you an embed code. As far as I'm aware, it doesn't give you an embed code. Can anybody clarify that?
You can actually embed a video in the photos section. There's overview, but customer photos, owner photos,
you can upload
exterior, and video.
Right.
And so if you can upload a video, then that video will have a URL. And if that video has a URL, then you should be able to get an embed, unless Google has a frame breaker on it. So, I mean, I would have to test that and see if you could embed. I think I have one. But you'd have to test that, and then yes, you can submit that to MGYB.co, and Daria will take that and he'll run an embed gig on that that URL, as long as it's an embeddable URL.
That's right. Okay, I think that's complicating it, Gordon, a bit. I don't understand exactly what it is that you're trying to do, but I do know that you can upload a video to GMB directly as not a post. I get that. That's fun. You can do that. I don't know that you can get a share URL for it, but I didn't know that you could get. I don't know that is embeddable.
I'm checking right now.
Okay, cool.
I'm checking right now, and I'm saving the file. Hang on a second.
Because like if we click in the photos, for example, just click on that photo and we click share. This is the share URL here. I don't know if that would actually embed. So I mean, it's the same type of link that you'd get from an uploaded video is my point. And I don't know that would embed. So you'd have to play with it and see. And that's what Marcus said he's doing now.
No, it's not coming up.
It breaks it, doesn't it?
It has a breaker.
Yeah.
Looks like.
Yeah. So you're better off uploading it as a GMB post, video post, and then taking the post URL and turning that into an embed. Right? So anyways. All right. Well, looks like there's no more questions. So if we don't have any more questions, we can wrap it up about 5 minutes early. I'm okay with that. Are you guys okay with that?
I'm good with it.
Out in the woods. Woo!
Okay.
Right. All right. Well, everybody, thanks for being here. We've got Mastermind webinar tomorrow. Don't forget, if you're in the Mastermind, 3:30 p.m. We'll see you all there. Thanks for everybody being here. Thanks, guys.
Ooh.
See you guys.
And before we hop off, Bradley, we're going to be going over some sales stuff with the Mastermind tomorrow, aren't we?
Yes, that's right. Each one of us are going to chime in on that.
Awesome. Yeah, gotta get my slides out, get that stuff into slides, but I got some good stuff. Looking forward to tomorrow.
That's right. That's why you asked to edit that slide deck today. I was wondering why. I was like, what's going on with that? Now I remember. So I've got to prepare for that. I appreciate you mentioning that.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, everyone else, Mastermind members, going to get a little inside look into how we do sales individually, since everyone's a little bit different. There's a lot of templates out there, but it's a different thing, I think, to hear people say exactly kind of what they do in order to, move from prospect to actually closing deals. So looking forward to chatting with you guys about that tomorrow.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one. I'm looking forward to that.
Definitely.
See you all then. Take it easy, guys. Later.
Bye, everyone.
Later. Bye.